guys, Aaron Jana here for Forever Football, DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. It is time for another daily report, bring you the latest news from the club. We've got a big update today. 8 managers set to be interviewed as part of the next manager sort of process, and we've got an official date or an official timeline as where we can expect the announcement of the brand new manager. So we've got all the details in this brand new free press article. I'm going to share my thoughts on who could be involved. So before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another video, and let's get into this one. So, of course, according to the free press, the Rovers board have finalised their shortlist on Monday and will conduct the first round of interviews either side of the bank holiday weekend. The final interview stage is planned for next Thursday, when the 2 or 3 top candidates will have their final assessment. Obviously, we don't know exactly who is being interviewed or who's part of that final 8. However, what we do know is they expect to be in a position to confirm the appointment early in the week commencing May the 10th after the final match of the campaign. So basically, in terms of the shortlist, now this is a broad range of experience. The average age is 43, so the group of 8 has an average age of 43. So if you want to do the maths, feel free and put your sort of suggestions in the comments down below. But before you put your suggestions in the comments down below, this is what the whole group of the 8 managers shortlisted contain. So some boast top flight experience, which is very exciting. Others have won promotions and silverwares, very exciting indeed, when in charge of clubs, while 2 will be making their first steps into Football League management. So that could be anyone from the National League or the National League North and South, or it could be someone from Europe. Someone from Europe would be very exciting for me. Now, 4 are currently employed as coaches elsewhere in English football. So 4 are currently coaches somewhere else in English football. So that could involve the promotions and the silverwares. It could be the top flight experience. It could be the first jobbers, shall we say, in the football league. So that means so there's 4 currently employed as coaches elsewhere in English football. 4, obviously, the other 4 are going to be out of work. Butler is obviously going to be part of the interview as part of the club policy. We knew that. So speaking after Tuesday's dramatic draw, Butler said it's been a massive learning curve, so he put his own thoughts about the whole managerial situation and how he's taken to management, saying whatever happens now manager-wise, I know I've given a good account of myself, never let the standards drop or do anything different, just continue to be myself, and hopefully the people above can see that. I know the results haven't been good enough and the fans all opinions and think I'm inexperienced, but I have got experience in game management and in playing games. I've got a fantastic staff behind me that have helped me all the way. So proud of myself, and hopefully the players are proud of that performance on Tuesday. We do have a little bit of information on contracts as well. So following on from John Taylor's signing of a new 3-year deal, confirmation is expected of the re-signing of a club youngster before the end of the week. So we are going to expect that news at some point before the end of the week. 2 more Rovers youngsters are due to complete the formalities on new deals imminently. So the youngster that's set to re-sign a deal is part of the youth trio we mentioned in the last report. And we understand the final stage of contract negotiations with other players are likely to be taking place with input from one of the 8 that's going to be the new manager. And one player has indicated he wishes to hold talks again following the end of the campaign. So someone is waiting for the end of the season to give his verdicts on the news. But it's very exciting. So first of all, the youngster that's going to re-sign his deal, I'm not sure who that is. It could be anyone. It could be Horton, it could be Greaves, it could be Amos, it could be Jones, it could be any of them. So we're not really going to speculate on contracts that much. I mean, the guy that's waiting to the end of the season is probably either James or Wright or Halliday. Probably out of those 3, in my opinion. But hopefully the ones that are waiting for input from the next boss to see who's going to sign and who's not will be a good decision going forward. The managerial situation is where we're going to speculate on this, because obviously we know that one of them is Andy Butler. We know he's one of them. So we've got 7 left. So 2 of them are stepping into the Football League for the very first time. 4 are currently in jobs in English football. Whether that includes Butler or not, we don't know. So that's possibly 3 or 4 of them currently in English football. Some have won promotions, silverware, trophies. and they said some have got top flight football experience. So there's a range of managers it could be. So 4 unemployed, 3 or 4 technically with Butlers, because he's not a permanent manager. He's only interim at the moment. So 3 or 4 are currently out of work. So there's a heap of managers it could be. It could be Paul Heckingbottom. It could be Chris Coleman in there. It could be, in terms of the 2 that are stepping into the Football League for the first time, we could see some non-league managers come in. So James Rowe from Chesterfield, or the Morley and Johnson connection at Chester. It could literally be anyone at this stage. It really, really could. Stepping into the Football League for the first time, I mean, we can't really count Des Buckingham, because I think he was assistant at Stoke City a few years ago. So in terms of number 1 managerial job, then maybe you could count Des Buckingham, because he would be in his first number 1 job in the Football League. Of course, he was the assistant at Stoke, but apart from that, he's managed elsewhere, like Wellington Phoenix in Australia, and he was New Zealand manager as well. So he could be counted technically. There's a couple of European managers out there that are out of work. There's some big names out there, like your Bruno Labadias and your Vincenzo Montellas. I think there's a former Dortmund manager as well, Lucien Favre, I think his name is. I think people were calling him the next Ralph Hasenhüttl, and he deserves a shot in the Premier League or something like that. I'm not too sure, but there's some big European names that I don't think would take the step down, but obviously you never know in football. Enzo Maresca, he's the current Man City Academy manager. He's a former Italian national footballer. He's played for his home country, Italy, for quite a few years. And, a legend of the game, legend in his own country. He could bring some Italian flair into this side. Uwe Rosler could be a great contender. I think he's gone to Fortuna Dusseldorf, come back, take the skills he's learned from Germany and bring it into England again. Of course, former Brentford manager. There's a few European managers or European-born managers that have managed in the Football League in the past as well. Oscar Garcia had spells with Brighton and Watford, so you never know if he's going to be involved. In terms of top flight experience, I mentioned Chris Coleman, maybe Roy Keane could be in there. Paul Heckingbottom, currently temporary charge at Sheffield United. He's won promotions, he's won silverware with clubs, and of course he is currently in top flight football technically, so we'll let him off with that one. But I've seen people mention Danny Wilson. Please don't mention fake names like Danny Wilson. Fair play, he did an alright job at Sheffield United, and he was a former Sheffield Wednesday player and manager. But I just don't think Danny Wilson would do a good job in my opinion. So Butler's obviously in there, and there's 7 others. Comment down below who you think. I'll give you that criteria again just to give you a reminder. So get a pen, get a pad, get a bit of paper or something, like a pad or a paper or something, and write this criteria down, because I think it's very, very needed to write this criteria down. So let me give you the criteria again. So the average age of the group is 43 years old. That's the average age of the group, 43. Some boast top flight experience. Write that one down. Others have won promotions and silverware. Write that one down. Maybe the criteria clashes with a couple of managers, I don't know. But that's another one. When in charge of clubs. So promotions and silverware when in charge of clubs. Write it down. While 2 will be making their first steps into Football League management. See if you can do the research, try and find some names, whether that's people outside of England, people in non-league, things like that. So, and the ones in non-league have to never have managed in the Football League ever, and this is talking Championship, League 1 and League 2. So do the research, come back in the comment section and find me some manager names that you think could be great appointments. Especially the European names, European names that have never managed in the Football League before. I'd like to find a European manager. I would love this club to get a European manager. Bring some of that European flair into the club. Bring some attractive attacking football, this European attractive attacking football. Let's pummel oppositions next season, and let's find the right names for it. I did mention Enzo Maresca. I mentioned a few names like Labadia, Montella, and Lucien Favre, but those are unrealistic names. They've managed at different clubs in different parts of Europe that we never expect them to go down to League 1 in England. We're looking at Championship to Premier League managers here that I've mentioned in terms of European names. Obviously, Enzo Maresca could definitely not be included in the list, but names like, Labbadia and Favre and, Montella, I don't think they're going to happen. I did the research, and, Bruno Labbadia is a former Hertha Berlin, Greuther Fürth and Wolfsburg manager. Don't expect League One with that. Montella's a former AC Milan, Fiorentina and Catania manager. Again, I don't really see that. I think his name's Lucien Favre, former Dortmund manager, recently is Dortmund, so I don't think that'll happen anyway. But you never know. If you can think of any European managers that might, that have never managed in the Football League that could drop down into Doncaster Rovers, then please, do comment down below. But there we go, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching this DRFC Daily Reports. Of course, we are back on Friday for the preview of the Rochdale match. Obviously, you can go and check out previous videos on the channel. My Peterborough match review from last night is on the channel. The first fan cam on the channel's history from Bailey, a Donny fan, is on the channel right now as well. Go and check that out. We'll do some more videos in the summer as the fixture list gets put together ready for next season. So while all that's going to be going off, and while we wait for more news from Doncaster Rovers, obviously it's going to be a big summer for the channel, big summer for the club, with the new manager and the new talent and ID manager. It'd be interesting to see if the talent ID manager links with the new manager. It'd be interesting to see if they've got previous connections, and that might give us an idea. So we'll be very interested about that. But hopefully we're going to work with some journalists on some footy talk videos going into the transfer market, do some research, try and get some players named depending on the appointment of the manager. And for now, guys, stay tuned for the Rochdale preview on Friday. And for now, guys, keep living the Rovers life. And that, my friends, is full time. Rovers till I die. Come on, Rovers. Let's make a wonderful appointment next season. I think this could be the first step, though, in a very ambitious season coming up. I've just got a gut feeling about this. So, very excited. Rovers!